Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. We're so excited to have so many of you on with us first thing in the morning. For those of us in the Pacific time zone, hope you are all having a fantastic day so far. You have joined us with Ask Doc Live. My name is Rebecca Kozak, and I will be your host for the next 2 hours as we provide some amazing information that is life transforming and empowering without having to, ask for permission. Remember, you are an individual with an intelligent mind, and when you have the information that your body needs to make intelligent decisions, life is so much easier. But today we will be joined with a co-host, Jonty McCollier and Nasima Omar. For those of you who are on live with us, you can raise your hand, choose from the Zoom menu, raise your hand, and you can ask Dr. Wallach questions here live with us. So we encourage you to raise your hand early because I will be going in the order that the hands are received or raised rather. And I'll also be working on some emails and some text messages that I've received through Facebook Messenger. And we just want to make sure that everybody is getting information that is going to be, again, useful and empowering in making sure that you have the nutritional information you need to live an optimal life. Now, this program and the contents of this program is to provide educational information only on the importance of nutrition and supplementation in a world where the food supply is empty and void of what the body needs most, not just to survive, but thrive. In this program, we will be sharing the nutritional options that are available through supplementation in a form that the body can readily absorb and utilize. The FDA does require us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. And this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. But, we bring a message of hope. The genetic theory and the things that have happened within your family history do not have to define who you are. With epigenetics, which is the study of how your behaviors and environment can cause changes and affect the way that your genes work, is so encouraging. I know it was for me. And with epigenetics, you are an empowered individual and have more control over your health journey than you think. This program is brought to you by AskDocLive.com. And for those of you who have never spoken to anybody about any of the supplementation that will be spoken about today, feel free to go to our website, AskDocLive.com. We have a contact us there where if you don't know exactly what you need, you can click the contact us and get an email to us. And one of our certified holistic health coaches will get back with you to make sure that you're getting exactly what you need. We also have a store there if you like to go shopping by yourself. But again, this is for somebody that has never made a purchase or has never spoken to anybody and was not referred to this program by anybody specific. I want it to be very clear that if one of your friends shared this program with you, get back with them. They have a vested interest in making sure that you are getting the information and they are a resource to you. Where we want to be a resource as well, the person that shared this program with you is also a resource. And they probably have their own special way of getting products. So with that being said, we are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to share the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health. Dr. Joel Wallach, thank you so very much for taking 2 hours out of your busy schedule every Friday with us. We just appreciate you, love you, and I don't know how to say thank you enough.
Well, it's very kind, Rebecca, and thank you so much. And I consider the Ask Doc Live family, and so it's always good to be with you and touch bases and have a family to go to every Friday morning. So thank you so much. You guys do a great job in helping so many people. I'm just amazed and so proud. Well, we still have to talk a little bit about the COVID thing because it's spiking again. And the reason why it spikes is people don't pay attention to details. Things begin to look good and they just throw everything to the wind and go back to the old ways and they step on the landmine again. And that's why we have all this spiking. As of this morning still, there's still last night's figures. We have 46,174,517 infections in the United States and 753,747 dead. Now, to put that in perspective, that's an 18-month accumulation of deaths from the COVID, 753,747 dead. When you look at 2 years, at 1918 and 1919, during the Spanish flu, in America alone, we lost 675,000 people. See, as we subtract the 675,000 from our 753,000, and you get 78,747 more more deaths in 18 months than they had in 2 years. It's not a very good record because, it's quite a bit of time has elapsed. And we've had between then, we've had H1N1, we have MERS and SARS and the swine flu, and we've had COVID-2 and so forth. And I guarantee you, we're going to have another pandemic and plague when this one is over. It might be 3 months, it might be 6 months, it might be a year, it might be 2 years, but it's coming. And that's because people aren't changing fast enough and hard enough and completely enough. What needs to be changed is our basic behavior. And doctors have given us a lot of misinformation for many years. That's why I wrote the book Epigenetics, so that everybody can, they can go to you and get that book and Ask Doc Live, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, we have all of your popular publications right there on the website.
Okay, very good. And so that book will really shake you up because there are no genetically transmitted diseases. There are no autoimmune diseases. Doctors just made that up when they didn't know what the answers were and they were too embarrassed to say we don't know. So they blamed it on you. Oh, it's your genes making that happen. Oh, it's your body's attacking itself. You have an autoimmune disease like lupus and stuff like that. It's absolutely not true. So you're empowered to know that you can defend yourself against all these things, but you have to be proactive. You can't just sit there and whistle in the wind. You got to do something. And two things are very important. Number one, all pre-existing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure and arthritis and peripheral neuropathies and lupus and Parkinson's disease and varicose veins and gray hair and all these things are really just early warning signals that something bad is going to happen to you. Okay, these are all nutritional deficiencies. None of them are autoimmune. None of them are genetic. That was all false information. And the breakdown started 3:00 in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, in the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, when Thomas Edison and Jonathan Leaves pulled the switch in the first commercial electric generating plant, and they let loose electricity. Well, within 20 years, we had 40 new diseases nobody's ever seen before. And doctors blamed it on genetics and autoimmune because they didn't know what it was. So they just blamed it on you. And as a result, we're in real trouble. Well, the reason why that happened was when we went to electricity, we gave up all the years of getting minerals by putting wood ashes, which are 98% minerals and only 2% carbon, into our gardens, and the vegetables would suck up the minerals. We'd eat the vegetables, get minerals that way. And grandma would always put minerals. Some of you are old enough to remember grandma putting the wood ashes into our food, and certainly her food. And that's why grandma lived to be 110. And then everybody else in your family following her only lived to be in their 60s and 70s, gave up 30, 40, 50 years. Well, we got the same genes grandma had. Yeah, but she was using wood ashes in her food and wood ashes in the garden. You're not doing that anymore because you got electricity. And that's the bad part. Well, these pre-existing conditions, again, when you look at somebody like Colin Powell, one of the greatest politicians we've had in American history and modern history. He was a soldier in our army. He became a 4-star general. He was the first Black person to become the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He was the first Black person to become the Secretary of State for the United States. And he just died, about a week ago at age 84, which beats our average, which is 75. He beat it by 9 years. But you knew he was in trouble when you go back and you look at his pictures. I went back and I looked at his pictures from 30, 40 years ago, and he had snow white hair back then, which is one of those early warning signals, because snow white hair has nothing to do with age. People say, well, you got to expect that. I'm 70 years old. No, babies are born with snow white hair. Okay. It's a nutritional deficiency. And the nutritional deficiency that causes gray and silver and white hair, the same nutritional deficiencies that cause varicose veins, spider veins, hemorrhoids, aneurysms in the brain, aneurysm of the aorta and coronary arteries. And so these are warning signals you need to pay attention to. And so I can tell you just from his gray hair that he was actually eating gluten, probably oatmeal for breakfast and that kind of stuff, typical military breakfast, pancakes and waffles, and maybe even drinking beer. Nothing wrong with drinking beer, but if you're gonna drink beer, drink the rice beer, don't drink the wheat beer, okay? And then also his skin was a lot lighter as he got older because he couldn't make the skin pigment like he had when he was a young man, okay? And so this were the giveaways, that he was eating gluten, not absorbing, and he may have been taking a vitamin, maybe taking one a day with 27 nutrients in, so he was only 63 short, okay? And so this is the thing you have to deal with. And when you have these pre-existing conditions, number one, your intestines die, so over a period of time, slowly, not just overnight, but maybe over a period of 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So your efficiency of absorption of nutrients is way down. You may only be absorbing 2% instead of even 50%. And then also, when you have an absorption problem, he was probably, again, not taking enough supplementation. And so this is what caught up with him, and his immune system and his bone marrow wasn't working properly. And so the virus got him, it killed him at age 84, which is not bad, but it's not perfect. And I'm sure he had these other issues. And when they did his obituaries, they didn't say, oh, he had this disease, and this disease, and this disease, and this disease. They didn't list all that because his medical history, if he's dead, is his personal business. Another thing we want to talk about is never too late, because you can heal your intestines by giving up wheat, butter, and oats, and you can see a big difference within 2 to 4 weeks. And so I want everybody to give up wheat, butter, and oats, which is start eating like an Asian. Eat rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash and corn. You can eat corn. You can't have fried corn. You can have roasted corn on the cob, or you can boil. I like to cut the kernels off the cob and simmer them and boil them in water and then put butter on them. But you cannot fry corn. Okay, that's bad. No fried foods. And you switch over to an Asian diet. Now, I'll give you an example. My favorite example is India. India has 1.3 billion people. They're the second largest population in the world. When you take India and China together, they make up 1/3 of the world's population, just those two countries alone. So India is very highly populated, but like China, India is a very homogeneous country. We have probably people from 50 to 100 different countries here in the United States. So we have everything you can think of. Well, in China, they're almost all Chinese. In India, they're almost all people from, who are Indians. And so basically, they have 29 states and 7 territories. The northern 9 states have 95% of the deaths from COVID and 87% of the infections. The 20 southern states and 2 territories have only 5% of the deaths and only 17% of the infections. But they're homogenous people. Why is it different? Well, for 100 years, the British occupied northern India to draft all their young men to send out to do their fighting for them, so they wouldn't have to draft English young men. And they taught the northern 9 states how to grow wheat, butter, and oats, how to make beer from wheat, butter, and oats, how to eat oatmeal for breakfast, how to make pancakes, how to make white flour, all that kind of stuff, and how to grow it and sell wheat, bran, rye, and oats. And so northern India just lives on wheat, bran, rye, and oats. In southern India, 20 states and 7 territories live like Asians. They live on rice and corn and beans and squash and seaweed. And so that's what makes up the difference. And so this is very telling stuff. And I just hope people take, heed of that. Now, I also want you, as kind of a preventive, to take our colloidal silver. This is in addition. Well, I skipped something there. You need to take the 90 essential nutrients. Right now, you need the heavy hammer, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. For kids, we have the Kids Toddy, which is a liquid and it tastes good. They like it. It has everything in it except for the EFAs. So you have to have an extra bottle of EFAs for them. If they don't want to either chew or swallow the soft gel capsules, they can puncture them with a needle and squirt it into their Kids Toddy. They can have the Kids Toddy with the EFAs in it from the moment they're born. If the mom is going to feed them milk replacers like Enfamil and Similac, if the mother's going to breastfeed the baby, she needs to have double her Healthy Brain and Heart Pack because she's giving nutrients to the baby as well as herself. And if everybody were to take the 90 essential nutrients and stay away from gluten for at least a year before they get pregnant, we'd never have another birth defect. 99.9% of birth defects are caused by nutritional deficiencies. And most women don't take prenatal vitamins. Shame on the OBGYNs, even though they're in the childbearing years. They don't take prenatal vitamins until they miss 1 or 2 periods. And the baby is almost nearly formed already by the time they start taking prenatal vitamins. And that's why there's so many birth defects. Shame on the OBGYNs. Well, I want everybody also to get our bottles of colloidal silver. Our colloidal silver, of course, comes in 4-ounce bottles. I go through 2 of these bottles a month. I've been doing it for 25 years. You put 2 droppers full under your tongue 30 minutes for each meal and 2 droppers full on your tongue 2 minutes for bedtime. And the colloidal silver, it's like water. It's clear, doesn't have any taste whatsoever. Even little babies will take it and smile at you because they think it's funny because you're squirting water in their mouth, but it's really colloidal silver. And it kills viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast. Then our hand sanitizer, okay, the hand sanitizers, I go through about 8 or 10 of these little 2-ounce bottles a month. I use it for, there's no alcohol in it, so it doesn't burn. So I use it for aftershave. I use it on my hands, between my toes. I use it on my arms up to my shoulders. I use it on my legs up to my knees because I go out and I don't want to pick up and bring home anything that has anything to do with COVID. Okay. And then you also want to add to the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, the Killer Biotic, which is it's got like 6 different species of mushrooms. And then the primary useful one I like is the reishi mushroom. It actually supports your immune system, is anti-inflammatory and relieves pain. And Cell Shield RTQ is another one which supports your immune system and relieves inflammation. And then Oxybody or oxygen. It's a liquid, it tastes good, little kids like it. And I take an ounce of our Oxybody at breakfast, an ounce of Oxybody at dinner time because I want more oxygen. And this brings us to one of the topics of the day that Rebecca wanted to talk about. Okay, and this is, of course, sleep apnea and sleep issues. Can't sleep well, you wake up, you're sort of crabby because you didn't sleep well and so forth. And so I want everybody to start a victory garden. In addition to doing all the supplements we talked about and staying away from all the bad stuff, the gluten, the wheat, the barley, rye, and oats, sugar, carbonated drinks, fried foods, all that's got to go. But also in addition to that, and all the colloidal silver and the hand sanitizer and the kids toddy and the EFAs for the kids. Don't forget the Rebound instead of soft drinks. It has 100 nutrients in it. It's not like Red Bull. It has caffeine and sugar in it. Okay, ours has 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. And then I want you to have a victory garden in every house. I want you to have plants and no flowers on them because we don't want, well, I was allergic to the pollen. I don't want to hear any of that. So just green plants. And I want them in every room that has windows, like your kitchen, your bathroom, your bedroom, the playroom for the kids, the living room, and put a couple of potted plants in each one of those rooms right near the windows and get some sunshine. And then, of course, I want you to take 2 ounces of our liquid plant-derived colloidal minerals and put those 2 ounces of those minerals in a pint of water and water each of those plants with that pint of water each week. And those plants will while you're sleeping, is going to be doing photosynthesis and breaking down carbon dioxide in the air in the house. to oxygen and carbon chains for its own use. Now, think about it. A sequoia tree that weighs 30 tons, all that wood came from the carbon dioxide in the air. That's where that wood came from. Where'd that wood come from? It was from the green leaves on those little baby trees started making wood. And as that tree grew, as more and more wood, it came from the carbon dioxide in the air. But then, of course, those trees put out a lot of oxygen as a result. Well, when you don't have enough oxygen, you're not going to sleep well. You're going to be crabby when you wake up, and you're not going to be able to, remember things, and you'll be confused, and it's going to be a mess. And you'll be depressed, and you go to the doctor, and they put you on drugs. Well, you do this victory garden thing with the plant-derived minerals in your plants with the water, because tap water doesn't have anything in it. And what they forget to tell you in school, whether you're in medical school or kindergarten, both about the same, the thing they fail to tell you is when a green plant is in the sun, and it's a green plant, so it has chlorophyll, which is chlorophyll in the mitochondria, the little things in your cells that make energy, and it's called, they turned into what's called chloroplast. But the chloroplast cannot do photosynthesis without 20 nutrients. There's 20 nutrients that are required for the series of biochemical reactions that allow the plant to break down carbon dioxide into carbon chains and oxygen. If that plant is not getting those 20 nutrients, as they say in France, there ain't nothing happening. Okay, and this is our big problem. Everybody thinks it's just sunshine and green plants. No, it's those 20 nutrients that are necessary for the green plants and the chlorophyll and the chloroplast to do photosynthesis. And this is what killed all the trilobites. They had 25,000 species of trilobites for millions and millions of years before the dinosaurs even came along. And then they all died, and they had 5 mass extinctions. And so all those thousands and thousands of species of aquatic organisms died. And then all the dinosaurs died over 100,000 years because they didn't have any oxygen as well. And we have all these dead zones where there's, in our own Gulf of Mexico, we have 6,300 square miles of dead zone. We have a new dead zone here in America, as in the delta of the Columbia River, on the west coast of Oregon, because we blocked up all the minerals going to the coastal algae in Oregon. And so then all the reefs are dying for the same reason all the dead zones are dying. And so I spent a lot of time looking at what were the common threads, and came up with a CD called Dr. Wallach's Laws of Photosynthetic, photosynthetic disruption and global warming. Global warming has nothing to do with all these die-outs, and pollution has nothing to do with all these die-outs. There were no cars millions of years ago when there were trilobites and dinosaurs. So why'd they die? In every case, there is a series of glaciers, whether it's 100, 400 million years ago with the trilobites, 250 million years ago with the dinosaurs, currently with the dead zones. Now, the biggest dead zone is the Arabian Sea, which is to India as the Gulf of Mexico is to United States. And I asked Siri, are there any glaciers in India? Yes, there's 10,000. What? So I ask again from a different direction. Are there any glacier moraines and glaciers in India? There's 10,000 glaciers, and each one has an average of 2 to 4 moraines. I forgot about the Himalayan mountains, all those glaciers in the Himalayan mountains. And the glaciers and the moraines, the little dams they push in front of them, some of them are 500 foot tall and 25 miles wide, and they block 100%, or sometimes they just redirect the flow of surface water and the minerals to the green leafy plants that were producing the oxygen. So the mass die-offs did not occur from global warming. They didn't occur from pollution. And of course, the same thing's going on with the reefs. It's going on because of dams, the dams from glaciers before humans came along, millions of years ago, when the trilobites and those other organisms, when all the dinosaurs died out, the dead zones, and the dead zone in the Arabian Sea from India is 66,000 square miles of dead zone in the Arabian Sea because of a mixture of human dams and also 10,000 glaciers. And then, of course, the reefs are dying for the same reason. When you look at the Great Barrier Reef, which is 1,400 miles long on the east coast of Queensland and Australia, guess what? There's 183 dams damming up the flow of nutrients to the Great Barrier Reef. And that's why the central 50% of the Great Barrier Reef is in trouble. The northern 25%, that's not happening, so it's happy. The southern 25% is not happening, so they're happy. It's only the central area where they have 183 dams for hydroelectric, irrigation, water storage, let's see here, also for flood control. And they've cut off the food supply to the algae in the Great Barrier Reef that produces the oxygen for the polyps, okay, for the coral polyps that make and maintain the reef. So without the oxygen, the coral polyps can't do their job. And without the minerals, the algae in the reefs can't do their job. And so this is all very simple. And it's on this CD, which is available now. You can get this CD, is Dr. Wallach's Laws of Photosynthetic Disruption and Global Warming. So we only got a few minutes left in this segment. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Rebecca.
All right, Dr. Wallach. And I just want people to realize that, you know, the whole dam thing started before humans started making their dams, right,
Yes.
Dr. Wallach? So these are like
2 billion years. Yeah, 2 billion years before we came along.
So the natural formation where things just like get stuck and start building up and just limit that flow of minerals that are going to where the geography of the land actually needs them. So it is kind of good news that it's not just all human, you know.
Well, we know how to deal with it. And so, yeah, we know how to deal with it. So all these dams we're putting up, we're not going to give up our electricity. So what we do is we have all this silt from behind the dams right here in America. Each year we get 150 million tons, Rebecca, each year behind our hydroelectric dams in America. And we sell it to local farmers as fertilizers. So it never makes it to the Gulf of Mexico. That's why the Gulf of Mexico is dying.
That's a lot. I mean, I know what 60 tons look like because that's what's needed for rock on my driveway, but that's a lot.
Yeah, 150 million tons every year is a lot.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, you take that, it's building up, it's got to be used for something, put it back into the soils where our food is growing, because plants can't make minerals, right, Dr. Wallach?
That is correct. Plants can make vitamins, but they cannot make minerals.
It has to be in the soil for them to take it up and have it in the food that they provide to us.
I'll give you an A+.
Well, and not all farmers realize this or have the funds to put those minerals back into the ground. You know, I'm surrounded by farmers. I love farmers. I mean, I can only see 2 neighbors and they both farm. So the fact that they are doing so much to help provide food, we just have to realize that what's the food that's being provided, even if it's organic. I mean, organic just means you're not getting as many chemicals and pesticides and herbicides.
That's right. It says nothing about the nutritional value of the food. Organic doesn't say anything about nutritional value.
Exactly. Does not mean that it's more nutritious. It's just less toxic. But we need nutrition. And that's where your decades of research, Dr. Wallach, in figuring out, okay, we've got all of this disease. What was missing? And you figured it out. Not only in the animal world, but then you applied it to the human world. And there was correlations. And you took it upon yourself to, you know, step out of that role as a veterinarian and pathologist into having to deal with people that talk back.
Yeah, I love live people.
Yeah, making such a difference in providing the nutritional information that is needed to help us, to help us at the cellular level and out. And I just, I have you in my prayers, Dr. Wallach, and I praise God for you.
Well, I appreciate that. Believe me, I appreciate that. God is my
So-
favorite hero. And of course, I have a new book coming out. It may be 3-4 months before it's out, but it's going to be called The Third Testament. Okay, because it goes into all these things, because God is the wisest one of us all. He is the architect. He is everything. And no matter what faith or religion you have, it always comes up to the good Lord, right? And it's one of those things where you cannot deny there were dinosaurs. You cannot deny there were trilobites. You know, these things are all in fossils, and they have the equipment to date them. And we have telescopes we can see so far out in space that they had no imagination what it was. I mean, remember that the Old Testament and the New Testament were written by human beings, and they didn't have all this information available to them. So they wrote with what they knew, what they could see, and what they were told, and so on. And so this book that I'm writing, I'm calling it The Third Testament, not because I think I'm anything special, but because I'm taking all this information that are missing from those books, because even dinosaurs were God's creations. Even trilobites were God's creations. And so we have to include them in the picture. And so that's what I've done. I've gone back to the beginning of time, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, but it didn't say whether it was 5 minutes or 5 years or 50 years or 5,000 years or 5 million years or 5 billion years. It doesn't say that. It just said God created everything, which is true. And so I'm putting everything in timeline perspective. It's been 2,000 years since the New Testament was written. So it's time, you know, for, what should I say, another add-on, another addition. And so I'm very excited about this.
Well, and it's going through and just claiming the miracles and the works that are going on.
That's right. It just every page supports the wisdom of the good Lord, and it's just saying, and here's the things that he did, and here's the reason why we believe he did them, and so forth. And because you cannot deny dinosaurs, so they weren't in anything in the Old Testament or the New Testament. So how can you take something that was around for 250 million years before human beings were, and then there were 12 different pre-humans that walked upright, and they were humans, and they used stone tools, and they did drawings and all kinds of stuff on caves. And you know, remember Lucy from Australia, or wherever she came from, it was a big, exciting thing, and so forth. And so we have, you know, either drawings or actual pictures, like from Lucy. And these individuals were created millions of years before modern Homo sapiens came along. You cannot deny they were there. We have the skeletons, we have the dating, carbon dating, and so forth on them. And so I had to include all them with pictures or drawings of them based on the skeletons and so forth. And God, everything God does is beautiful. He is the greatest architect. He's the greatest artist and sculptor of all. And so this is all a very positive thing. This book is coming out. It's just going to be everything in praise of the good Lord, but it completes the picture, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just driving across wherever you are in this world, just taking a road trip and looking around and being observant of all that's going on. It's like Highway 89 going south from the northern border to the southern border, and you've got the painted desert, and it's like, there's no way it happened by accident. No. So, but Dr. Wallach, I just appreciate all of the work and the thought that you put into just all of your work, and it's keeping us as human beings.
Well, thank you. You see, my goal here, people say, well, why do you do all this, Wallach? Don't you ever have a life? Don't you play golf or anything? I like to fish because I can still think while I'm fishing, waiting for the fish to bite. But the whole idea here is to add 25 to 50 healthy years to people's lives. Because, you know, in the Bible, it says, and God gave man 120 years. Well, 75 isn't very good. Okay. We're giving up 20 plus 25 let's see, that's 40, we're giving up 45 years, okay, if 120 was correct. But then we know that if everything is right, the human life expectancy is 155. Right now, we're leaving, let's see here, right now we're leaving, let's see here, we're leaving, oh my gosh, we're leaving 80 years on the table. We're leaving 80 years on the table. That's 80 years you could be spending with people you love, spending time with people you love. You could, 80 years you could be doing the things you love to do. Why would you give that up just because you don't want to eat a certain way? Why would you give that up because you don't want to avoid certain bad things? I'm going to avoid the bad things, and I'm going to eat what's right and take all my supplements because I want to live to be at least 110, be a super centenarian. I'm 83 now, and most people think I'm in my 50s when they look at me. They can't believe that I'm 83. And that's not even without, that's not even with the credit. We should be crediting people an extra 9 months, because when you're born, they say, okay, well, life begins when the egg is fertilized by the sperm. Okay, if life begins when an egg is fertilized by the sperm, then you're 9 months old when you're born.
That's right. Or 7 or 10, or 8.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah, we definitely need to
we have to correct the math.
Credit. We got to correct the math. And yeah, and the whole, you looking younger than you are. And I mean, when I tell people that I'm 50, they're like, no, you're not.
You look like you're 25, dear.
I am. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being on Ask Doc Live. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules to empower yourself with knowledge that will help you make wiser choices in the foods that you eat, and also helping you to find the supplementation that's actually going to work synergistically in your bodies and give results. So again, if somebody referred you to this program, get back with them. If you were not referred to the program, we do have a store and also a contact us at askdoclive.com. And we are here to assist you in making sure that you're getting exactly what you need with our certified holistic health coaches. Now, we have some hands up. And again, if you're on with us and you want to ask Dr. Wallach questions here live, make sure you find the raise hand option. It might be under participants. It might be under reactions. Just play around with whatever Zoom version you have and find it and raise your hand. So Dr. Wallach, let's first go with David. David, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I did. Good morning.
Good morning.
You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. I have many medical problems. I'm diabetic and I have high blood pressure, but recently my prolactin levels have gone up way high. And I was wondering, what can I do to lower that without taking any pharmaceuticals?
Okay, I got diabetes, high blood pressure, and you said something was high. I didn't get that.
I'm sorry?
You said some measurements were high. What was?
Prolactin.
Oh, prolactin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you giving breast milk?
No.
Okay, all right. How much do you weigh and how old are you, sir?
I'm 62 and I weigh 190.
Okay, how tall are you?
5'9".
All right. Now, do you have any other issues? Do you have any skin problems like eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
Psoriasis since I was a kid, yes.
Okay.
Arthritis as well, yes.
Okay. Do you have asthma also?
As a kid, I had it.
Okay. Did you have your appendix out?
Yes.
Appendix out. You had appendix operation.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, yes.
Okay. And do you have any, let's see, any bowel problems, constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, anything like that?
Not really, no.
Okay, well, you do. I'll tell you why in a moment. Are you coloring your hair?
Yes.
Do you have some gray hair? Okay, so you have hair problems here. Do you have any varicose veins or spider veins or hemorrhoids?
No.
Okay. Let's see here. Do you have any low back problems, any arthritis or joint problems?
Yes, arthritis on my hands. I had numerous surgeries on my
Oh.
hands and fingers and knee operations.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And then let's see, one last question. Do you have any ringing in your ears, any tinnitus
Yes.
or ringing in your ears?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Then I got to ask another question. Do you have any AFib or irregular heartbeat?
No.
Okay. Do you have any balance issues or dizziness?
Some.
Vertigo. Okay.
Yes.
All right. You have several things going on here. Number one, you have a gluten problem, so your intestines are suffering. That's why you have all these everything you have here is a nutritional deficiency. And since you were a kid, and you were probably eating goat meal for breakfast every morning, and muffins and pancakes and waffles and all the good stuff, right?
Correct.
So you were getting gluten poisoning as a kid. All the things you had as a kid and all the things you have now, including psoriasis or nutritional deficiencies caused particularly by gluten. Okay. And then same way you have osteoporosis of the skull, causing a squeezing of the auditory branch of the eighth cranial nerve, causing the tinnitus ringing in the ears. You're getting a squeezing of the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve, causing the vertigo. Do you ever have bouts of hiccups?
No.
Okay, good. All right, well, here we go. You need to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, rye, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go. I want you to replace any carbonated drinks with a Rebounder sports drink with 100 nutrients in it. Big guy like you, 190 pounds, you could take 2 or 3 of those. I only weigh 142 pounds. I can drink 2 Rebounds a day. I don't drink them after 3 or 4 o'clock because it'll keep you up all night. Okay, but that's to replace the soft drinks. And then I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the full dose of everything twice a day. I want you to get also, they contain 215 nutrients, 215 nutrients, including the 90 essential nutrients that are the basic core of what we talk about. And then I also want you to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM. I want you to take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. Take 2 bottles a month to do that. And they're designed to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. Now, did you, when you said you had knee operations and so forth, when you had any joint operations, did they give you an artificial knee or they just?
I have artificial joints on my fingers on my left hand, yes.
Okay, not in your knee, but in your hands, okay? And so, yeah, also your skull is probably squeezing, your spinal cord is coming out of the back of your skull. People don't realize it, but your spinal cord forms in the brain, not in your back. Your spinal cord forms up here, comes out of the back of the skull. Your skull is squeezing it. And then you have type 2 diabetes. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our sweeties. You could take 3 of those twice a day. Don't cold turkey off your medication, but as your blood sugar comes down, you can slowly reduce your medication based on the numbers, okay? Same thing with the high blood pressure. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 twice a day, and they will support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. Do you have anything going on with your kidneys? Or do you on dialysis or anything like that?
No, I'm not. I'm type 2.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. So that's plenty for you to deal with. I want you to call us, come on every 2 weeks and give us a status report. Your testimony is going to help millions of people. David, I believe you're an angel of God, and your testimony is going to help millions of people because all of these things you have are classic nutritional deficiencies, all secondary to the gluten thing. If you're very, very good about getting rid of gluten, okay, no wheat, bran, rye, oats, you can drink a beer, but it can't be a beer made from wheat. It's got to be either Australian, New Zealand, or some of these. We have some of the breweries here in America make beer made from rice.
Yes, doctor. Yes.
Okay, and so I have a glass of wine with dinner every night, a glass of red wine, and so you don't have to give that up. I have gluten-free ice cream for dessert every night, 1/3 of a pint. I measured out and cut the pint in half and everything. So I'm getting a 1/3 of a pint of gluten-free ice cream every night. And I have like 8 different flavors, so it's not boring. And so you can have, a good life. Oh yeah, you need 3 eggs twice a day for your memory.
Yeah, I did eat that, yes. 3 eggs, yeah.
Okay, good. But not fried and not hard boiled. They have to have soft yolks.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
call
very
us.
much.
Okay. God bless you, David. You're going to have a great testimony.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
God bless you.
Have a good, God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, David. Lots of great questions there. And Great information, Dr. Wallach. Thank you so much for all that you share and how thorough you are. I mean,
Well,
that's
I've been doing this for a little while, and it's one of those things where we're in 60 countries, and I see through your eyes, and through John T's eyes, and through Nasima's eyes, and through what's this, Ruth Ellen's eyes. Yeah, Ruth Ellen's eyes. I see millions of people every day all over the world. That's why I did what I did, because I knew I had some things that were going to help people. And I didn't want to just see 15, 20 patients a day in my little clinic in Oregon. And so that's why I came out with Dead Doctors Don't Lie. It's in 9 languages now. We've sold over 600 million copies of the CD in 9 languages. We just had a guy in England actually buy 1,000 books. Okay. And I don't know what he's going to do with them, but he bought them. Okay. So that leverages my time into England. I don't have to go there and give a lecture to 50 people, because he's taking those books to all those people in England. See?
right. Instead of 50, he's reaching 1,000 plus.
There you go.
That's awesome. 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 Well, Dr. Wallach, Jill writes in, and she has a question. She has a client who is 64 years old, female, weighs 156 pounds. She has an aortic valve problem that she was born with, 2 flaps instead of 3 on her heart valve. Her doctor is pressuring her to get surgery, and she's wanting to avoid it. But she gets out of breath when walking up an incline, occasionally gets heart flutters as well. And the doctor says eventually surgery to replace the heart valve because of stenosis will be required.
Yeah. Okay.
And the doctor doesn't like that her cholesterol is at 290. And she does admit that she does eat out a lot.
Well, nothing wrong with that, as long as you choose correctly.
Exactly.
Remember Indiana Jones, when he sees somebody who died, he said he chose poorly.
Right. So she's Jill says she got her started on the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, but what else does she need besides consistency?
Yeah, she needs to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown notes, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And she needs to, in addition, at 156 pounds with a heart problem, I'd have her take 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs per month, the full dose, everything twice a day. I'd also have her get 2 bottles a month of her MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal, 3 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they will support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, including valves in the heart, which are made out of connective tissue. Okay. People don't realize that, but the valves in your heart are made out of the same thing that tendons and ligaments are made out of. All right. And then I want her to also take the, let's see here. I want her to take our collagen. Okay. She can take our glucogel. She can take 5 of the capsules twice a day if she wants to, or she can take an ounce twice a day of the liquid glucogel. They come in quarts, it'll be 2 quarts a month. But also I want her to have the collagen peptides. Our collagen liquids and our collagen liquids capsules, okay, are made from beef, cartilage, and ligaments and tendons. But our, let's see here, our collagen peptides are made from beef, sheep, poultry, and fish collagen. Okay, so you get a much broader source of raw materials. And so the result is considerably faster and more correct quickly. And so Jill needs the 2 doses a day of the collagen, either the liquid or the capsules. But I also want her to use 2 or 3 scoops in the middle of the day of the collagen peptides. And she can use whichever one she wants, but I'd go for the heavy duty ones. They have the 4 different animal peptide, collagen peptides in there, because if her valves in her heart really improve 10, 15% because of the nutrition that's going to them, she can just, get another opinion from another doctor, from a medical school, something like that. I like second opinions from medical schools because they get paid the same no matter what the outcome or diagnosis is. Whereas if you're getting a second opinion from the doctor's best friend, who's his golf buddy, you understand what I'm saying here?
They're kind of maybe scratching each other's back.
Yeah, they're going to milk you like a dairy cow. Well, you got insurance, it's not hurting you, insurance pays. But then they kill you with a procedure.
Yeah.
Just like when people have AFib, they'll anesthetize you, cut your chest open, and then take a hot branding iron and touch it to the heart to try and stop it from doing irregular heartbeats. When we have AFib, it's osteoporosis of the skull squeezing the 10th cranial nerve. The heart has nothing to do with it. And yet they anesthetize you, cut you open and kill your heart. They kill so many patients with that procedure. It's called ablation. It obliterates the patient.
Well, and so the ablation within the heart and then the burning of nerves for other issues, that's causing referred pain. For me, it just does not make any sense. I mean, God gave you all of those nerves because it helps the body function.
They're not the bad guys.
No, the nerves are not the bad guys. And I heard this week that you're not sick, you're deficient.
That's correct.
And I think whenever we realize that, it's like, okay, I've got this going on, this going on, this going on. It's not because I'm like sick. Well, kind of. The sickness is caused by the deficiencies.
Yeah, it's kind of like, here's another example, Rebecca. Let's say he went to a new mechanic and this guy's kind of a hippie mechanic, right? He says, look, don't use oil because of, we're talking about carbon fuels and carbon things here. Don't use oil. Just use dirt from Texas or Saudi Arabia or something like that. Use 6 quarts of dirt in your car instead of 6 quarts of oil. There's bound to be some oil in it because it's dirt from Texas and Saudi Arabia. An insane person wouldn't do that to their car. When a doctor says, look, you got all these problems, and so I want you to take this pharmaceutical instead of food. Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's throw chemicals at it instead of nutrition.
There you go.
I'm
my
glad
doctor
I said no, thank you.
My doctor said, I hear that so much.
Well, I love what my doctor says, and folks, you're hearing it right now. Nutrition, 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 but it has to be absorbable nutrition, and you have to remove the things that are causing digestive issues that are preventing the body from being able to absorb what you need.
Yeah, you get an A+, Rebecca.
I was an A+ student in high school, so I'll take those.
Tell.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. And Sam, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Okay, bye.
And,
Hey.
Yep.
Am I unmuted? Yeah, I am. Okay.
You're unmuted, buddy.
Once again, I want to say thank you, Doc, and it's an honor to be on your army, sir. I mean, this is
thank you.
Yeah, it's an onslaught that's been going on for decades, and I have never felt more energy than in the last 6 months since I have been on the 90 core nutrients, and I've been a high energy person for a long time, and I see it in Becca, I see it in everybody. It's real, it's powerful, and I want to thank you for what you're doing. There's a lot of unnecessary suffering going on today. Okay. Question I have. In your cookbook, it talks about gluten-free flour, GF. What exactly do they mean by that? They have to be using some other type of grain or
That's correct.
Okay. What is it?
Rice
Flour. We were talking about that.
Duh.
Well, hey, there's no dumb question other than the one that's not asked. Okay?
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, there's millet and there's corn.
Right.
And
Okay. Do you have any other questions, Barb? Except
I
Barb.
have a question.
Go ahead quickly. What's your question? Come on.
Don't put my face on.
All right.
All right, here's my question. I'm Barbara Bennett. You
We
gave
know.
me a long list of things to take
Question.
because I had a mini stroke. There's like 5 things you want me to take, but I can't afford all of it. Is there 1 or 2 that are more important for my brain health than anything else for my TIA, whatever it was?
Okay,
That's
Okay.
a good question.
Well, you're going to save a lot of money by getting rid of the bad foods.
Write
You
it
got to get
down.
rid of the bad foods. Bad foods are expensive. No fried foods, no processed meats. That's why people have been
That
asking
I
me for
Okay, never
people have
mind.
been
I'm
asking
not
me
in-
for recipes for 20 years. That's why I finally came out with that book, because Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. So 300 pages. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's a substantial book. It's 300 pages. Okay, and the print is small, so you get a lot of information. Okay, and then how much do you weigh, Barb? How much do you weigh?
Oh, sorry, I had unmuted for the background noise. Go ahead and unmute.
she weighs
How much?
186, 186.
Okay, and how tall is she?
5'7.5".
Okay, 5'7.5". I'd like to see weigh 150 for a lady, so it might be 30, 40 pounds
Write it down.
overweight. Okay, and so here we go. If you can only take a couple of things, I would get a minimum of 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month, take at least a half a dose twice a day. I would also get another bottle of our selenium, not from Kroger's or Walgreens, but from ours, because it has the 5 cofactors in it, because I want you to take 6 of our selenium a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. And then the MSM, take 1 bottle a month of that, so you can take 6 a day. If it's really necessary, you can take just 3 a day, but you do better faster if you do 3 twice a day. It
Okay,
supports
ask
and
them how much
promotes.
it's gonna cost.
I
me.
know how much already.
Okay, so let's just go with that, but stay away
Okay.
from all the bad foods and
Okay,
live
thank
like
you,
an
Dr.
Asian.
Wallach.
Let him
You
finish.
bet. Live like an Asian.
Live like an Asian.
Yeah, diet.
Okay.
Rice, sweet potatoes, eggs. Don't
Fish.
forget the
Write it
eggs.
down.
All right,
Fish.
go ahead.
Yeah, but I know.
Okay.
I'm gonna write it down for you.
Okay.
All
Have a
right,
nice-
thank you,
Sounds
Sam.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Barbara.
Thank
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Sam.
All right. Again, lots of good questions. And Dr.
Yeah.
Wallach, there's, and this is something that I found to be so true. And you mentioned it. When you remove those bad foods from your groceries, it makes so much more room for the stuff your body really needs. You don't need those empty calories. You don't need those things that are going to be adding toxins to your body. And I have so many people say, well, I get a good quality olive oil. It's like, no oil. Take that $30 for that good quality olive oil and put it towards nutrition.
Yeah, if you want good quality olive oil, what you want to do is grow an olive tree and pull the olives off the tree and eat the olive.
And then you're only getting a tiny little bit. And I love olives, but you know what?
A tiny little bit
I
of
think
good
just
is
eating
better
those,
than a lot of bad.
that's right. But eating those olives was not giving me what I needed. So let's go for the big hammer, as you put it, and give the body what it needs. Let's go to the next hand up. Oh, we're at the top of the hour. Do you want to take a break or one more question?
Let me do one last question. We got 3 minutes here, or 2 minutes.
All right. So Treva, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Yes, hi, doctor.
I apologize. What's your first name again?
Treva.
Treva. Okay, Treva. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How can we help you?
I've been taking your products for a few months now, but one issue I didn't talk about because I had so many others is that I've had bloating and gas for quite some time now, and I finally went to a gastroenterologist, and she, of course, is going to put me on an antibiotic, very expensive antibiotic, and with no testing. It's for SIBO, S-I-B-O.
Okay.
No testing.
Okay. Well, let me quickly intervene here. How old are you and how much do you weigh?
I'm 77. I weigh 108 pounds.
Okay. Do you have any other issues I need to know about? Do you have any diabetes or high blood pressure, arthritis, anything like that?
I have some high blood pressure.
Okay.
I'm on a lot of your products.
Okay, that's good. All right. But the bloating and gas can come from 2 or 3 different things. How much salt do you use?
I upped my salt because I wasn't using any.
Okay, good. Yeah, I want you to use our pink Himalayan salt.
Uh-huh.
And there's cells in your stomach walls called chief cells. These chief cells turn salt into stomach acid. You want stomach acid. When you have a lot of bloating, that means you're drinking carbonated drinks, or you're alkalizing yourself by eating lots of vegetables and everything, and not using enough salt, not enough stomach acid. And so your pH in your stomach is coming up towards neutral or even alkaline. And bacteria can grow in there and ferment your food, and that's where the gas is coming from. It's kind of like making beer in your stomach.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And so you want more acid. You want to get your pH of your stomach environment down to 2. You want it to be extremely acid, so it'll eat through a steel beam. Okay. And then it'll kill off all the bacteria. And 2 things: our pink Himalayan salt is a lot cheaper than the pharmaceuticals are going to give you, and a lot safer, because every cell in your body needs sodium chloride. Every cell in your body needs sodium chloride for all these biochemical reactions that your cells do. When a doctor says, oh, you're getting up to that age, cut back on salt or eliminate salt because, it's going to cause high blood pressure and cause heart disease and all that kind of stuff, that doctor should have his license taken away. Salt is one of the most required 2 nutrients that all vertebrates require, whether you're an elephant or a human being. Okay, so for this morning, I had a full teaspoon of our pink Himalayan salt on my wild rice and my soft boiled eggs. And this evening, I'll have lamb chops and sweet potatoes and let's see here, artichokes and tomatoes. And I'll use another half a teaspoon or so of that pink Himalayan salt on those. All right. And so that pink Himalayan salt, you'll never have another belching, burping, bloating bout if you use the pink Himalayan salt twice a day in your food, because it'll get the pH of your stomach down, kill off all the bacteria, and you won't have to, deal with all those pharmaceuticals and all the side effects of them.
Okay.
So that's
I tried to
that's the
order
answer.
it and it wasn't. It was out of stock.
Okay. Well, when you or
It's
try
good
again.
stuff.
Yeah, try again.
Okay.
And so somebody who's involved, and they may have an extra little canister, and they can loan you one, so you can order 2 when you order, you can repay them back or something. But table salt is just that white salt. It only has sodium
Yeah.
chloride in it, which is not bad, but
Eh.
ours has 75 minerals in it.
And then what about the iodine? You're not getting iodine with Himalayan salt,
Oh yeah, you are.
are you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and you're getting iodine in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack also.
Well, I'm not. I'm taking the other one.
Oh, the other one,
The
tablet, the big yellow tablet,
tangy, tangy.
tangerine.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that one.
Okay. Yeah, well, the tangerine has salt and also iodine in it. Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right.
All right.
All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh.
Triva.
Yeah, give us a call
All
every
right.
couple of weeks.
Yes, and thank you, everybody. We are going to take a quick 5-minute break here on Ask Doc Live. So get up and stretch and make sure that you have your water cups full. Go ahead and put a splash of minerals in that water so that you're hydrating your body with electrolytes, because electrolytes, it's minerals, folks. You don't need 5, you need 60. So go ahead and give your body some minerals and some electrolytes, and we will be right back. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on this wonderful Friday. For those of you who are here live with us, we are so excited to have so many hands up and so many questions coming in the comments. I'll get to those as in order that they were received. And for those of you who are joining us on the replay, your questions are important as well. If somebody referred you to this program, make sure you get back to them. It's possible they have the answers to your questions. If you were not referred by anybody specific, go ahead and go over to our website, askdoclive.com, and click on the Contact Us. You can submit your question there or request a free consultation, but make sure that you also sign up to receive our newsletter and the notification that lets you know of when our live shows are. So we want to make sure that you are getting the information that you need and deserve. But with our Contact Us, we do have a few certified holistic health coaches that are there waiting to assist you in making sure that you get the information that you need to meet your health goals and also to cover those deficiencies that might be making you sick. For those of you who have never spoken to anybody ever before and you would like to speak to somebody on the phone, we do have a hotline. Again, this is for people that have never ordered before. It's 855-949-7234. So we had this cool little comment come through, and John writes, Doc Wallach, everyone is doing great. We eat like Asians, including our Jack Russell, and he loves his supplements. Once finished, he carries his bowl around. God bless you, Dr. Wallach. So, always fun to have people share their little testimonies of how they are doing, and I like to say incredible and amazing, but it just makes sense when you give your body what it needs. And since we are continually regenerating cells and producing cells, there's no other option but for the body to become healthier and stronger. And we realize those benefits. So, Dr. Wallach, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, I think we're ready to get started again.
And there we go.
There we go. All right, so I have another question that came in, and it's coming from Abel. Let me see. And Abel
Ava.
Abel.
Oh, Abel.
Abel. And Abel is asking, how can celiac disease be cured? I'm a 17-year-old female, 98 pounds, 5 foot 2 inches tall.
Okay, celiac disease is very easy to reverse, like in 2 weeks. Okay, celiac disease is a gluten issue. Celiac disease, diverticulitis, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, all of those are all caused by gluten. Things that are thought to be autoimmune, like psoriasis, all those things are caused by gluten. They're nutritional deficiencies. Okay, so at 98 pounds, I want her to give up all bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats. Teenagers, that's all they eat is, French fries and fried this and fried that and oatmeal for breakfast and colas. And when you look at it, you stand back and look at it, you say, holy moly, how did they live to be 17 years of age? They should have died earlier on that diet. Okay, and so got to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go. Use our Rebound instead of colas for energy. It has 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. Then at 98 pounds, I wanted to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month, take a half a dose of everything twice a day. But with the exception of the selenium, I also wanted to get another bottle of our selenium so I can take 3 of those twice a day. And then lastly, I would like her to take our MSM. She can take 1 bottle a month of the MSM, take 3 twice a day, as she can do it because it's a big bottle. And it will support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, including the walls of the colon, which is damaged when you have the celiac disease, okay? And arteries and veins and stuff like that. She is going to be a new woman very quickly, and she does that, but she's got to be very, very, what should I say, strict with her friends and say, look, I can't go with you anymore to these places because they serve gluten. If you want me to hang out with you, we got to go to these places that don't serve gluten, or they have another room that's gluten-free, and they have a whole menu that's gluten-free. I can't keep going to those places like Spaghetti Factory and McDonald's, and I can't go to those places anymore because that's causing my celiac disease. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And it's really interesting. This week, I received a research paper from a doctor about your age. And it was written about 10, 15 years ago, where they noticed that after, and this was in the early 70s, whenever they really noticed it, after they did the genetic modification on the grains, in the early 70s, they started seeing digestive issues they had never seen before. And now they're things that we know as leaky gut, celiac disease, autoimmune conditions,
Irritable bowel syndrome.
irritable bowel syndrome. And Dr. Wallach, you've been preaching this for a long time.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
So when you see 32,000 autopsies and you're looking at their intestines and their colons and stuff like that, it just makes you want to cry, because just like we had the caller earlier, the guy had appendicitis when he was a kid.
Mhm.
Okay, that's due to gluten. Appendicitis is caused by gluten.
And I was affected by it. I had my appendix taken out in my early 20s. So it's not fun. It's very painful. And if I would have known then what I know now, there's so much pain I could have just prevented
Yep.
over my entire life. So, but now we can't change the past, but we can take this moment on, share this information with those that we know, that we love, that we see that are hurting. And you can find the replays for our programs at AskDocLive.com, or even on our YouTube channel, Critical Health News. You will find the replays for this program as well. We encourage you, spread the information, empower people to be able to have the knowledge they need in order to help themselves. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. And Robert, joining us again, hopefully with a great report. Robert, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Okay.
Hello,
make sure
Robert.
you could see. Hi, happy to see everybody. Let me.
Okay,
turn
did
this
you pay your light bill?
Nope. You're
There
good,
you go.
Robert. Go ahead.
I look better.
You're
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, Dr. Wallach, you're wonderful, and I
you're
enjoyed
very
hearing
kind.
you the other night on oh, it was with Nori or somebody
Yeah,
like.
George Norrie. Yeah, well, this is
Yeah.
George Norrie's program too. But yeah, Tuesday night, I'm on every 5 or 6 weeks, and
Yeah.
George is the greatest.
Yeah, well, so are you. You came across wonderfully. I
Oh, thank you.
appreciate it. But okay, I'm in worry mode now. I went and had
Okay.
a blood test, and I think it's with that prostate thing. It's called PSA number or something. Isn't that what it's called?
Yep.
Well, he called up saying, "Hey, you used to be in the 20s. Now you're high 30s. So you probably got cancer." And I'm going, okay. So he started recommending all of this, putting me on the chopping block. So I want to see what we could avoid all that.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd go to another doctor for a second opinion, and you want to get a non-radiation screen. Okay, a screening.
I'm write that down. Non-radiation screen.
Yeah, screening. Yeah, You want to take a
Okay.
picture of your prostate gland with no radiation, no x-rays, nothing like that. Okay. And so
Okay.
you want a non-radiation screening, but have a picture taken to see if there is cancer. You know, it'll be the size of a pea, it'll be the size of a walnut or something if you have cancer there. If they can't find any little nodule of any kind, the odds are it's not cancer. You can just have inflammation in the prostate, and the PSA will go up. Prostate specific antigen is called. Okay.
Okay. Why did they want to start taking out a biopsy? I guess that's pieces of you, right?
That's right. Well, they want to, you know, either stick a needle in you or cut you open and take a piece out. But you can get the same information by doing one of these non-radiation screens first. Okay.
See, he didn't
So-
tell me that.
Well, of course not. He's got a kid in college and tuition is due.
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
understand what's going on here?
I sure do. That's why I got your book, Dead
Yeah.
Doctors Don't Lie.
That's right. That's the only time they won't lie is when they're dead.
Okay.
Okay. So, so that's the kind of the direction I would go. Do you have any other issues that are still going?
Well, I have that type 2 diabetic thing. I was like the lady that called in. She was low on money, so was I. I haven't got the things you told me to get for that yet, and I hope to, since I'm going to be ordering stuff for this PSA thing, whatever you tell me to get, I'm going to get all of that type 2 stuff at the same time.
Okay. Well, once you get, how much do you weigh, Robert?
I'm 6 feet, 192.
Okay.
Yeah.
Optimally, you want 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. Obviously, no bad stuff, right? No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat granules, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Then
Okay.
192, I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the full dose, everything twice a day. I want you to take 1 bottle a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. And
Okay.
then I also want you for the diabetes to take, you have diabetes, right?
Yeah, type 2.
Yeah. And so I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our sweeties. You can take 3 of those twice a day, but don't cold turkey off your medication, whether it's injectable insulin or metformin orally or whatever. But as your blood sugar begins to come down, you can slowly reduce your medication based on the numbers. All right. It usually takes about 2 to 4 weeks. You'll be off your medication. You'll be an ex-diabetic.
Oh, wow.
And it's very quick because type 2 diabetes is a classic nutritional deficiency, just like scurvy
Okay.
is a deficiency of vitamin C, and rickets is a deficiency of vitamin D.
Okay.
And then diabetes is a deficiency of, and I never tell people what it's a deficiency of, because then they run to the store and they buy that one nutrient and then they die because they're 89 short, right?
All right.
And so they die of a heart attack because they didn't take the heart stuff.
Okay.
And so that's why we came out with a healthy brain and heart pack. So you take that and it's covering, it has 215 nutrients in the healthy brain and heart pack. And so it's covering about over 100 major diseases, all right, including diabetes. But if you have diabetes, it doesn't hurt to throw those 2 bottles of your body weight, 2 bottles a month of the sweeties. You can take 3 twice a day. But again, don't cold turkey off your medication.
Okay.
Based on the numbers, you slowly reduce it, all right?
Okay.
And then call us back after you get the examination. But I would get another opinion. I would not go for a biopsy.
Okay.
We actually have products for the prostate gland, but I don't want to suggest them to you until we find out what's going on. If you have
Yeah,
cancer,
well, I'll tell you the one thing he did say. I don't know how he knew this, but he said that prostate was big or was swollen. And
okay, well, that doesn't mean anything.
okay.
Okay.
All
That
right.
doesn't, if you have a big muscle because you're lifting weights, does that mean you have cancer in your muscle? No.
Okay. Okay.
Now you have to appreciate, now, when you have to get up at night to go to the bathroom, take a pee.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, now that's because you have a low back problem, don't you?
Okay.
Okay, the low back problem squeezes the nerves to control your bladder. So the doctor wants to blame this on your prostate because he has a kid in college and tuition is due.
Okay.
You got it?
I always think they want to make payments on their Porsche or something.
Well, something like that. Yeah, you got it. You're thinking
Yeah.
right. Okay. Okay, so yeah, get another opinion and
Okay.
you want to get a scan, that's not radiation.
Okay.
All right. But
I will.
that MSM will help you deal with the back issue. And after, say, 2 to 4 weeks, you won't be getting up at night to use the restroom, because once the pressure comes off those nerves, then
Okay.
the bladder's happy. It lets you sleep all night.
All right. Well, thank you.
Okay, give us a call.
All right.
Okay. Okay, appreciate you guys. Nice seeing you guys. I'll
Okay,
call you
Robert.
again next week.
Yeah, please. Yeah, let us know what they find.
Okay, we'll do. All right.
Thank you, Robert.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Wallach, we've got a lot of questions in the chat. And
Okay.
one of them is, can I open all the capsules like the Ultimate Selenium, the Glucogel, the Cell Shield, and the Sweeties and vitamin D, and mix with the Tangy Tangerine powder and the OsteoFX powder in water and drink it throughout the day?
The answer is a 3-letter word. Yes.
Y-E-S. Yes.
We do that with kids that don't want to take all those capsules and stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so we do that, give them their liquid. Of course, we also have the kids toddy for kids. And so, yeah, no, you can do that.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we can do that, Dr. Wallach, because there are some people that have a hard time swallowing pills.
Mhm.
And adding it to the liquid combination of the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the OsteoFX makes it just much easier. And one thing that I want to note is a lot of people will say, oh, it's just so sweet. Well, it's natural sweeteners. And if it's too sweet for you, just add more water, folks. It's real simple. And drink it throughout the day. You do not have to drink it in a single setting. Correct, Dr. Wallach?
Well, that's correct. A lot of people, within an hour, if they just shoot it all down within an hour, they're going to have to go visit the restroom. Right.
You gotta go to visit the restroom. Your tummy might start feeling uncomfortable. But if you drink it throughout the day, you're getting kind of that time released effect and giving your body nutrition all throughout the day and not just overloading it all at once. So
That's correct. Yeah, you don't want to spike.
Right. You don't want to spike. And I have clients, and I actually, one of the questions that came up in the comments was in regards to a client who would take the supplements and then have diarrhea. Well, spread them out, folks. Break up those doses. When you first start supplementation, your digestive system is not ready for it.
Right, because you've been on gluten. You got to, it's going to take you 2 to 6 weeks to repair your intestines.
Right. And I love the fact that we can just do a smaller dose in the morning, smaller dose at lunchtime, and get it into the body. Because if you're not getting into the body, the nutrition that your body needs, you're not going to see the results. So keep going. Keep going. The next question is from Patricia, and I see that her hand is up. And Patricia, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, doctor.
Hi, Patricia. How can we help you?
I have an 18-month-old granddaughter. She's 29 pounds, and we're dealing with eczema. We thought maybe an egg allergy, milk, whatever. But as I'm listening to your program here, I'm wondering about gluten.
You get an A+.
Okay.
Now she's 18 months old. Is she eating oatmeal for breakfast?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Yeah, she's got a gluten problem. That's why she's got eczema, because she's got a deficiency. It's not the gluten that causes it directly, but it causes damage to the intestines, so you cannot absorb nutrition. 29 pounds. If she's not, she needs to be using the kids' toddy and our EFAs, and within a couple of days, that eczema will go away. Because she's headed towards, at her age, if she's already got eczema, she's headed towards asthma. Did she ever have any breathing issues or coughing or asthma or anything like that?
Patricia, go ahead and unmute yourself again.
She has not.
Okay, good. We'll catch it before she does. And so, get her off all the bad foods. Everybody in the household, mom, dad, brothers and sisters, dog, cat, bird, fish, everybody's got to be gluten-free, so that she's not one to sneak it, because she'll see them eat it and she wants to eat what they eat. But she can have wild rice for breakfast. She can have baked sweet potatoes with butter for breakfast, and so forth. but she cannot have wheat, barley, rye, or oats. Okay,
Okay, and for kids toddy or and
Yeah, kids
EFAs, I
toddy.
find that, I find that.
Patricia, if you have somebody that referred you to this program, go ahead and get back with them. If you don't have anybody that referred you to this program, you can find those products at askdoclive.com in our store.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And then give us a call in a couple of weeks and let us know how the granddaughter's doing.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Okay, Patricia, God bless.
All right, next, let's go to Christine, who has her hand up. Christine, go ahead and
Hello, good
unmute yourself.
morning.
You're live with Dr. Wallach.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, thank you so much for everything you have shown me and taught me. I heard you on George Norrie many, many years ago. What really fascinated me, Dr. Wallach, is that 90-day eye experiment where there was a bunch of people that took specific supplements. So what happened is one was legally blind and they were able to drive again. And so what has happened now with me is I forgot certain of the supplements, and unfortunately my reading glasses have now become my seeing glasses. So I don't know if I became used to it, or since I was wearing them all the time, or
Okay. Well, how old are you, Christine?
46,
And what do you weigh?
125, and I'm 5'2".
Okay. Do you have any other issue? Do you have any ringing in your ears or balance problems or hiccups or anything like that?
Yeah, I do have tinnitus in my left, and then I do also have my L5S1, so that's my lower back issues for 6 years, as well as 2 small bulging discs in my neck, plantar fasciitis, mild abdominal aortic plaque, and so pretty much inflammation.
Okay. Did you have your appendix out when you were a kid?
No, but just a year ago, I had some abdominal pain, and
Mhm.
urgent care sent me to ER to rule out acute appendicitis, which I went and got a CT scan, and they said, nothing's wrong with you. And my report was just mild abdominal aortic plaque, but that wasn't a
Mhm.
diagnosis. He sent me
Yeah.
home. So I said, can you at least prescribe me something for gas? I mean, I spent 8 hours here at the ER.
Okay. All right. Well, you have osteoporosis of the skull. Tinnitus is a squeezing of the auditory branch of the 8th cranial nerve by the skull. When you have this gradual vision loss, it's called ONA, optic nerve atrophy. And your skull is squeezing the optic nerve, the optic artery, and the optic vein. I
Mhm.
actually had a wager with the eye doctor in Salt Lake City,
Right.
Utah. Yeah, and he gave me 27 of his patients
Yeah.
that he had diagnosed as being legally blind 6, 8, 10, 12 years. So he couldn't argue about picking the patients because he's the one who picked them. Make a long story
Exactly.
short, within 90 days, they could all read 20/20 without glasses because I put them on the program I'm going to suggest for you here. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So here we go. 125 pounds. Once you get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bread, rye, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. I want you to take, 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. Get another bottle of our selenium. So you can take 3 selenium twice a day because there's a bottle of selenium comes with that healthy brain and heart pack.
Wait,
You take
3 selenium twice a day.
That's correct. But you're going to have to get another bottle of our selenium along
Right.
with the 1 healthy brain and heart pack. There's 1 bottle of
Right.
selenium in that pack, but it takes 2 bottles to get 3 twice a day. Okay.
And
so
you
need
want
to-
me on the healthy brain and heart, that's 1 a
Pack.
month.
Yeah, 125 pounds. That's correct.
Okay.
Now, I also want you to get our MSM. I want you to get 1 bottle a month of our MSM. So you can take 3 of
Okay.
those twice a day. Okay. You'll be able to do that because they're big bottles.
Okay.
And that'll support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone matrix, including the skull.
Okay.
It's going to help you with the optic nerve atrophy and the squeezing of the 8th cranial nerve.
Okay.
And also, it's going to help you with the disc, degenerative disc disease, the low back issues,
Okay.
and all the stuff that goes along with that. Any numbness and tingling in your feet and toes.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. That'll all go away. I do want you to take some collagen. Okay.
I
You
do
can-
have yours. I love it. Thank you.
Okay. You're talking about the liquid or the capsules?
I have the powder.
Oh, okay. So you have let's see here.
Peptide, right? The
Okay,
collagen peptides?
collagen peptides. Okay, good. Yeah, so you can take a couple of scoops of that twice a day.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then call us every couple of weeks because you're going to have a great story.
Okay.
The ONA, optic nerve atrophy, goes away very quickly. The ringing in the ears can go away in 2 to 4 weeks, and your skull will regrow. Your teeth will tighten up. Did you have to wear braces when you were a kid?
Yes.
Went to an orthodontist. Yeah, that's because you had osteoporosis as a kid of your skull and your facial bones and your jaw bones. So your teeth were moving around because your skull wasn't hard enough to keep them in place. And so that's why you had to go to an orthodontist when you were a kid. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So give us a call and you're going to have a great, great testimony. Thank you so much.
Dr. Wallach, one more thing.
Yeah.
Now, should I also incorporate the fucoidal Z and glucogel?
Okay. Well, the glucogel is another form of collagen. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You can take, we have capsules. You can take your body weight. You can take 3 twice a day, or you could
Okay.
take the liquid in quarts. You could get 1 quart and have a ½ ounce twice a day of our liquid collagen.
Okay.
Okay, you could do that, glucogel. And the Fucoid Z, we have 2 forms. We have the capsules. You could take
Right.
3 twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month. You prefer the liquid, it's called Z Radical. Little kids like it because it tastes good. You could take a ½ ounce of that twice a day. That'd be 1 quart a month of the Z Radical if you choose that form. And the Fucoid Z and the Z Radical are made from seaweed and all the weird trace minerals of seaweed. And of course, not only does your bone love that, but also your bone marrow, which makes white blood cells and platelets and red blood cells and antibodies and stuff like that to
Right.
help you with your immune system in this
So it
time
won't-
of the pandemic. Yep.
Yeah, it won't hurt to add those on, but what you're saying is the collagen, the MSN, and the healthy brain with the selenium, with those recommendations of the quantity and frequency of it, should already help or per the experiment that you did do with the other ophthalmologist.
Yes.
Okay, good. And then what about, I have the Projoba. Should I be incorporating the omega-3 at all to help me with all of this?
Okay, well, the omega-3s there'll be some omega-3s in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, but if you want to
Okay.
get an extra bottle of it, so you can take, you see, you'll get 3, you'll get a bottle of the EFAs, and if you get a bottle of the EFA pluses, so you can take 3 twice a day of each.
Right.
Okay,
All right. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.
okay, thank you, Christine.
Awesome, Christine. Great, great
Yeah,
question.
that was a wonderful study. That's got to go back 25 years where I got those 27 people. All 27 of them could read in less than 90 days. They were totally blind, 6, 8, 10, 12 years. The doctor couldn't argue with the patients who were picked because he picked them, right? And he lost the bet, so he had to pay for all their supplements. And he and he had to buy me a nice big bottle of red wine from France and take me out to a steak dinner at Ruth Chris's Steakhouse. And then he did a bad thing. He decided he was going to go with a bunch of bad guys. And people always say, well, what was his name? I want to talk to him. Well, I don't refer people to him anymore because he went with a bunch of bad guys and claiming he was the one that figured it all out. And so we don't talk about that guy by name.
Yeah, we got to give credit where credit is due, folks. Well, Dr. Wallach, I have another question here that says, what can one take who has endometriosis and a hemorrhagic cyst? Age is
Okay, so wait a
45.
minute, wait a minute. You got a hemorrhoid cyst and endometriosis?
And endometriosis.
Okay,
Age
must
is
be a woman.
41.
Must be a
Must be.
woman.
Yep. 135 pounds at 5 foot 1 inch.
Okay. So I want her to stay away from all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. And then 135 pounds again. She needs to be on 1 Healthy Brain and Heart Pack per month. Get another bottle of our selenium so you can take 3 twice a day. She needs 1 bottle of MSM so you can take 3 of those twice a day. And that's for the walls of the arteries and the veins and that kind of stuff. And also for the connective tissue in the uterus, okay, and the muscles in the uterus. And then also, I want her to have the, let's see here, Xerafem, Xerafem. She can get to 2 bottles a month of that, so you can take 3 twice a day or 2 3 times a day for a total of 6 a day. And that's going to help her with her cycles. That's going to help her repair her uterus. It has all the nutrition in it that the ovaries like, make more estrogen, more progesterone, and actually help repair the uterus. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Again, everybody, if you are liking what you hear, get back with the person that shared this program with you. Or if nobody shared the program with you, go to asktoclive.com. We do have our store there. We also have a contact us that will allow you to get in contact with a certified holistic health coach that can assist you in making sure you're getting exactly what you need based on Dr. Wallach's recommendations. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. And is it Yorkie? Your one key? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, how are you? I'm Gary.
Gary. All right, Gary.
Hi.
You're on
Hi.
live with Dr. Wallach.
Hey, Doc, I listen to you on Coast to Coast, man. Every time you get on there, I listen to you 1 a.m. in the morning, 2 a.m. in the morning. You
must be on the East Coast.
You must not sleep, yeah. Just quickly, I injured my ankle at the end of August, and I thought I just twisted it. So I kept walking on it and standing and working. And I ended up with a deep vein thrombosis diagnosis.
Okay.
Now, I listened to one of your podcasts and you recommended the Healthy Body, Brain, and Health Pack and the Essential Fatty Acids Plus and the Ultra Niacin Plus. Because according to the gentleman that had the deep vein thrombosis, you said he was most likely low in omega-3 fatty acids.
Mm-hmm.
I also have developed, because I'm not walking correctly. I'm on blood thinners, by the way. They found out that I ended up with the blood clot, and they put me on blood thinners as soon as they found out.
How long ago was that? They put you on
about
blood thinners?
3 weeks ago.
Okay. All
Now,
right. And how long have you been on our products?
Well, I'm just going to start them.
Okay. So after you go a month on our products, then you want to go back into the doctor for a test and see if you can cut the blood thinners in half or something like that. Within 90 days, you should be able to get off the blood thinners.
Right. They're going to give me another test, a Doppler test at the end of December to see if the blood clot resolved itself.
Okay.
One other question. I developed extreme sciatic pain because I'm not walking correctly, because I'm limping a little bit because my leg is swollen.
Okay. Okay. How much do you weigh?
180, 6 foot.
Do you have any diabetes or high blood pressure?
No diabetes, high blood pressure.
You do have
a little bit
pressure.
of cholesterol.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. None of the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat bran rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. And I want you to take a full 3 of the EFAs twice a day and 3 of the EFA pluses twice a day.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so that's all in those 2 healthy brain and heart packs. Then I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM. This is going to deal with the sciatica and bone and joint and disc and all that kind of stuff, tendons and ligaments. And so I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you take 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself. And then for the high blood pressure, I want you to have our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. You can take 2 bottles of that a month, take 3 twice a day. Don't cold turkey off your blood pressure medication. But as you know, test yourself 2 or 3 times a day. And as your blood pressure begins to come down, you can slowly reduce your medication for high blood pressure based on the numbers. And usually within 60 to 90 days, you'll be totally off the high blood pressure medication. All right. but you still have to stay on all of your nutrients. You still have to stay off all the bad foods. How long do you need oxygen, Gary?
No.
Forever.
Oh, you mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. I get it. Okay,
Okay.
great.
How long do you need water?
Yeah.
Every day. How long do you need the 90 essential nutrients? Every day.
All the time.
Yeah. And so you're lucky you're getting some, you're getting some early warning signals here by having some relatively low threatening things like a blood clot in your ankle. All right. And so that tells you that things are going on. See, how old are you? What's your age?
63.
Do you have any gray hair?
Yeah. Well, can't you tell? Look.
Oh, well, would you look at that? You could go for Santa Claus.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just started to, about past 5 years, I started to need these CVS glasses.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I wasn't wearing any glasses up until then.
Yeah, well, the odds are you have osteoporosis, it's called squeezing the optic nerves. You have ONA, optic nerve atrophy. So that'll all go away. Okay. And you're going to get your hair color coming back. The hair color will come back in your beard, your mustache, your hair. And you're going to look 25 to 50 years younger. And people say, are you dyeing your hair? You're looking so young.
Wow. So I won't look like Santa Claus anymore?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for the advice. I'm so thrilled to have talked to you, and I thank you for the program. And Rebecca, I get an email, and that's how I got this. So who recommended me? Do I look on my email recipient?
Reply to your email. That's a great question.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very
Okay.
welcome.
Look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Thank you so much.
God bless.
All right. Thank you. Gary, right?
Right.
Gary.
That's not what your student thinks us. All right. I'll look for your email. Well, all right, Dr. Wallach, let's go ahead and go to the next question. And it's coming from Monica. She wants to know, and this is a general question, of how to get rid of shingles in an older man. That's all the information I have.
Get a roofer.
Well, I don't know that that's the shingles she's thinking of. So
Okay.
let's go with the one that has this, herpes zoster, I think is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. Basically, this guy needs to get rid of all the bad foods, right? And then let's go by 100 pounds of body weight. If he weighs 150 pounds, treat him as 200 pounds. But per 100 pounds of body weight, I want him to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month, one bottle of the MSM per month for 100 pounds of body weight, vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight. Then I also want him to have our hair, skin, and nails, 3 of those twice a day per 100 pounds of body weight, 2 bottles a month. And then he needs to be taking our colloidal silver because it kills viruses, including herpes and so forth, right? So need to take 2 droppers full under his tongue, 30 minutes for each meal, 30 minutes for bedtime. So we'll need 2 of those 4-ounce bottles to do this for a month. And this won't hurt to be taking this now because of the pandemic going on, also because it kills viruses. Don't forget the hand sanitizer. And there's no alcohol in it, so it doesn't burn. So no matter where the herpes lesions are, this hand sanitizer can be applied, even in sensitive areas, it won't hurt. So you can apply the hand sanitizer directly to the herpes lesions, like maybe 3 or 4 times a day. And then, give us a call every couple of weeks and give us a testimony because the herpes lesions will go away.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And let's go to our next hand that is up, and it is Mark. Mark, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
I think I'm unmuted now. Is that right?
That's
on?
correct.
You are.
You're on.
Oh,
You're on the
okay.
air.
Dr. Wallach, I have a swelling on the back of my head that's intermittent. There's like a raised area kind of at the base of my skull.
Okay. Have you been to a chiropractor?
No, I've not.
I'd go to somebody like that, a non-invasive person. I'd go to a chiropractor and have him examine you and see if there's something going on there. It could be a disc, okay, swelling. It could be just connective tissue. It could be it wouldn't be a fatty thing because it would stay up if it comes and goes. It could be something going on again with maybe a joint capsule or something like that. So I'd have a chiropractor look at it, give you some kind of sense of what's going on there. And how old are you and how much do you weigh?
I'm 64 and I weigh 190.
Do you have any other issues? High blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis?
No, my doctor thinks I'm pre-diabetic, but he's not. I don't know if he's very capable, but you know.
Well, he takes your insurance money, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, they all accept money. That's a fact. So
Okay.
yeah.
So anyway,
So,
so at 190 pounds, again, I'd go to a chiropractor and have him examine your neck and all that kind of stuff and see what's going on there. But I would take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, none of the bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens. How tall are you?
5'8".
Okay. So 190 pounds, that's about right. Okay. At any rate, I want to have you again take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, the full dose, everything twice a day. We'd also like you to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal. And that's going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone, mixed bone itself. Also, because of the pre-diabetes, I'd have you get 2 bottles a month of our sweeties. So you can take 3 of those twice a day. And they'll, very quickly get that blood sugar under control. And you can go to a pharmacist without a prescription and get the test strips and the little things that stick your finger for a drop of blood, or you can get the test strips you can pee on and see if you have sugar in your urine. All that it costs you 25 cents each. It's not like they're expensive, and it saves you from having to go to the doctor and pay a lot of money and sit in the waiting room and get the COVID virus with everybody in the waiting room coughing on you. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of the COVID virus, I guess that's a good lead in. Also, besides the swelling, I've had once or twice pimples form on the top of my skull, which I believe were associated with I have taken the vaccine. Is that one of the side effects? Are you aware of that?
No, not in particular. But when you have anything like eczema or pimples in your scalp and stuff like that, it's due to a particular deficiency. And any kind of inflammation can aggravate those things and make them pop up. And so a lot of times when you get those skin issues, it could be, I'm not saying it is, it could be related to the vaccination, because the way vaccinations work is they cause an inflammation. Okay, they do cause inflammation, and the inflammation is to awake your body to the DNA and RNA of the bad guys, whether it's a virus or bacteria or fungus or yeast. And so a lot of these sort of reactions really are happening to people because they're nutritionally deficient. If they had all their nutrients, I mean, I'm 83 years old. When I had my 2 vaccinations, I didn't have any reactions at all. Of course, I've been taking the 90 essential nutrients for 75 years and been gluten-free for 75 years. And when I was in the military, I'd get 10 vaccinations at the same time once a year. If you're in the military, you know that they give you every vaccination they can think of, ones you've never heard of, because you're going to a certain place and they want to give you those vaccinations. Plus, they gave me rabies vaccination because I was a veterinarian at the time. But I never had any reaction to all those 10 vaccinations at the same time, because I'm taking my 90 essential nutrients and avoiding gluten.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the gluten. It's hard, but there's a lot of it out there.
Well, you have to find places that serve food that doesn't have gluten in it and frequent those places. You just can't walk into any place and try and get gluten-free food. But there's gluten-free ice cream, which I have a third of a pint of gluten-free ice cream every night for dessert, along with my glass of red wine. No gluten in red wine. And to go out to eat, to go to someplace like a steakhouse, and they do have isolated rooms and say, you know, just tell the waitress, look, we're gluten-free. Don't bring us any bread. Don't bring us any of that kind of stuff. Tell the cook we don't want anything on the grill. Oh, we have a separate grill for gluten-free. Okay, well, good. That's what we want. But don't bring us any bread or pretzel sticks or anything like that. Okay, because we are gluten-free. And so you just have to go to places that will, you know, follow your instructions and so forth. You have to know to tell them on the front end that you're gluten-free so that they know to be aware of it and to react appropriately. Okay,
Okay, thank you very much.
you bet.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dr. Wallach. And oh, we have hands up still. We have so many questions in the comments. If we do not get to your question, please go to Ask Doc Live and use that contact us option with your question, and we will get answers for you. Next, let's go to Don, who has his hand up. Don, go ahead and unmute yourself. Let me get, you are on live with Dr. Wallach. Let's try again. I can't hear you yet. So I sent you, there you go. You're on live,
Okay.
Don.
I'm 6 foot, 220 pounds, 75 years old. I'm on your products. I've been buying them from Victor until he passed away, and now I buy them from Maria. I've got a chronic sinus condition that never seems to go away. And my feet hurt really bad, and I've been getting B vitamin injections between my toes and around my ankles. It seems to be helping, and the black veins are disappearing, but my feet still hurt.
Okay.
And
All
my
right, just
PSA
for,
is 8.
okay, just for, you know, our other listeners, at 220 pounds, you would need to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat bread, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. You know, the diet one's got to go. Use our Rebound Sports Drink for energy and a pleasant something to drink for nutrients as well as energy. Then I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. And you may be doing some of this, but our listeners have to hear the answer too. So 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. Then I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And that's going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself. All right. And then I also want you to, it's also going to help with the skull, and which may involve this chronic sinusitis thing that you have. Then once you use the colloidal silver, 2 droppers full under your tongue 30 minutes for each meal, and 2 droppers full under your tongue 30 minutes for bedtime. Use your hand sanitizer between your toes. There's no alcohol in it, it won't burn. And then also, I would throw in the Killer Biotic, which has the reishi mushrooms in it that supports your immune system and also anti-inflammatory and relieves discomfort and pain. And let's see here. Then I would also take our, let's see here, collagen peptides. Okay, I want you also to take the collagen peptides. You could take 2 or 3 scoops of that in the middle of the day. That's going to help rebuild the disc and the bones and the cartilage and the bone matrix and stuff like that for your feet and your back and so on. And then I also want you to get our collagen glucogel. You can get the capsules. You can take 5 of those twice a day. I do that, and I only weigh 142 pounds. I take 5 of the capsules twice a day, especially when I'm on the road. Sometimes on the weekends, I will use the liquid collagen, take 1 ounce twice a day of the liquid collagen, but I always take my collagen peptides in the middle of the day, 2 or 3 scoops. I usually put it in some applesauce or something like that. Or sometimes you can mix it with your liquids, and it goes with the liquids very well. Do those things, and then call us every couple of weeks, because you're going to have a great story. You know, your story with the chronic sinuses can tell you that there's something going on with your skull. Do you have any ringing in the ears or balance issues? Or
No, I had vertigo one time, and I I thought that was probably from the Bluetooth hearing aids, and I put those in a bag and haven't used them since.
Okay, and haven't had a problem since.
No.
Okay, good. All right. Let's go with that program and give us a call every couple of weeks, and we will appreciate that, because there's a lot of people out there with your list of problems, including the chronic sinusitis, and they will be happy to hear your testimony. Okay. Thank you,
Very
sir.
good. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Don. Let's go to, and just a little quick note, Dr. Wallach, I used to have sinus infections 4 or 5 times a year. And since being on the products, I have not had a single sinus infection. I love it.
Isn't that amazing?
I love it. Let's next go to our last hand. We've got 4 more minutes. We've got Margaret Ann. Go ahead and unmute yourself, my dear. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Thank
Hi.
you. Hi, Dr. Wallach. My family and I, we appreciate you so much. And we're meticulously gluten-free. We're still healing certain things, but we're on a whole spectrum of longevity products, being very careful. I would like to, I love goat milk, goat cheese, goat butter. I would love to go back to eating those, but I stopped because I was concerned, because I know that they eat gluten grains. Am I making an error in being concerned about that?
Okay, what you want to do is start out with just either the milk or the cheese, for 1 meal a week. Okay, and see how it goes, because the gluten doesn't come through the milk.
Oh, good.
Okay, and so and goat's milk is very good. You have to remember that most of the people who were apostles, okay, and teachers of the word, whether it was the Old Testament or the New Testament, were herdsmen. They had goats and sheep. And so you're in good company when you're drinking goat's milk and eating goat's cheese and so forth. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
That absolutely is a great question. And, oh, I pushed the wrong button. Dr. Wallach, we are at the top of the hour again. I can't believe how quickly these 2 hours go by. And on behalf of myself and our crew here at Ask Doc Live, we just want to thank you and just appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you. I'm the one to appreciate you guys. You're the team, you're the family, and I cannot thank you enough for all that you do. Thank you so much for you and your team.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to say thank you to all of our subscribers and everybody who is on live with us today. Because if it wasn't for you, this information would go nowhere. So feel free to share. As we had one of our callers call in and want to know, well, I got this information because of the newsletter. Who do I call? Reply to that newsletter. And we have a team of certified holistic health coaches that are answering those emails as well. So everybody, God bless. We will be back next week, same place, same time. Share this information because it is empowering, and I just can't say enough. So I'll just shut up.
AskDocLive.com.
AskDocLive.com.
Bye-bye.
Have a great one, and bye for now.